Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this video today, we're going to be discussing, as the title would suggest, issues involving bar closures in the kingdom. This is something that's something of a... I won't say there's misnomers that surround this issue, but basically, as a practical matter, there are multiple different ramifications associated with sort of the street level police enforcement involved with bar closing times. And basically what I'm saying is, look, some precincts are really assiduous about, checking up on if places have closed. Other precincts may be a little bit lax. It may depend on the time of day. Time of day is the wrong word, but it may depend on the day of the week. It may depend on the time of the month. There are multiple different factors that can come into play with respect to bar closing times. But I did want to cite some of the harder and faster rules with respect to this so that people sort of understand what the baseline is with respect to closing times, etc. And then, as far as practical operations, people can deal with it from there. In a recent article, it was in Khaosod English, the website is khaosodenglish.com. The title of the article is "Why Bangkok's Fun is Ending at Midnight Again." This was published February 13th, 2018. I'm not going to go into the details of the article itself. I urge viewers to go to the website and check out this article. It's worth a read. It's actually rather interesting. It does delve into sort of how the street level enforcement of bar closing times can operate as a practical matter, and I urge people to check that out. But there's an interesting quote down here from a police lieutenant general who's the commander of the Metropolitan Police Bureau. Quoting directly, it says, "Look up the laws," the commander said Tuesday. "Venues with permits located in entertainment zones can open until 2 a.m. Those with a permit outside of the entertainment zones can open until 1 a.m., and those without a permit can open until midnight." So there are specific purposes with respect to openings and closing times. There are laws on these matters, and police do enforce them. Now, enforcement from time to time can be far more stringent as compared to other times when it may be a little more lax. Again, day to day, the police can't be everywhere at once. That being said, the hard and fast rules are what I've just given there. For those who don't understand entertainment zones, there are so-called special entertainment zones which were established in Thailand, or in Bangkok, I should say, some years ago. And those zones have specific rules with respect to opening and closing times of bars, etc. And those zones those zones tend to be, they target tourists. And as a result, they allow a little bit more latitude with respect to opening and closing times of drinking and eating establishments. There are other places that have permits, which may not specifically be in the zone, that are allowed to be open a little bit longer, as noted in that quote. And then finally, there are places that don't have any permits, but just simply have an alcohol license. For more information on alcohol licenses specifically, I urge you to check out another video on this channel specifically on alcohol licenses in Thailand. Okay, so, a bar and grill just has an alcohol license, but doesn't have any specialized permit with respect to opening hours. That type of establishment is probably going to be stuck with having to close down at midnight, especially when the enforcement mechanism is being especially stringent. So those are the hard and fast rules. Again, it's kind of one of those things you hear a million different answers about when you're sort of on the street level, if you will, from patrons at different places that say, well, this place never closes until whatever. It's going to vary depending on precincts. It's going to vary depending on the manpower and the priorities of given precincts. So again, it's maybe slightly different as a practical matter day to day in various different places here in the city, but those are the hard and fast rules with respect to closing times here in the kingdom, or here in the city.